we're just driving now towards Enniskillen itself. I think anyone who visits Ireland should try to plan an agenda that takes them all around the island and not just within the Republic of Ireland, because Northern Ireland is stunning, absolutely stunning. Of course, if you keep driving north, you will come up around the Giant's Causeway and County Antrim, County Down, County Antrim, and you will come to where Game of Thrones is filmed. So those of you who've watched Game of Thrones will know that some of that landscape is amazing. Yes, I know that some of the shots are done up around, I think it's Iceland, but it's actually filmed in Northern Ireland, up around that beautiful northern coast. So here's the red postal van, which is of course the Royal Mail. So you know that you're in Northern Ireland when you see that little van. Few lumps and bumps in the road along here. The heavy rain and snow and ice during the winter can affect the roads. Most of these will be repaired then in the spring. Excuse me. The roads in Northern Ireland, of course, have always been considered to be better than the roads in the Republic. And I would agree with that. I would say the roads are better. Now we're just coming up to the signs for Enniskillen. These little buses, they're all local buses. And generally speaking as well, public transport here in Ireland is pretty good. We have a rail service, and we have bus services all over the country. Down in Dublin we have trams, we have the Lewis tram. But the bus service over Ireland is a very good one. You can travel basically anywhere you want to travel in buses. Now these houses here on the right, this is public housing or social housing, and the rents are very low and very good for families who can't afford to have, to buy their own home. And again, that's something which is quite big here in Ireland, public housing, social housing. Another little public transport bus ahead, the 397B. So that would be a local bus. That would take you, say, from the town to particular villages outside the town. So it stops frequently to drop people off and pick people up. And then there's a yellow bus coming up that looks like a school bus. There's a lady getting off the bus there, and two ladies. Enniskillen is a beautiful town. It's the hometown of the famous writer Samuel Beckett. Samuel Beckett wrote very many plays. Probably the one that you would be most familiar with, at least the title anyway, would be Waiting for Godot. Godot, G-O-D-O-T. point this over that way so you can see. So I'm crossing a waterway now, which is part of the Loch Earn waterway. So you'd have Upper Loch Earn and Lower Loch Earn. Just turn this face on now. So we drive through Enniskillen on our way to Belfast. Over to the right is a big shopping centre. It's called Earnside. And then just ahead is, I think that's Enniskillen College. Now sometimes if I'm going to have my hair cut, I'll make an appointment with the Southwest. It's called the Southwest College, but they train. There's a lot of students in there who are training to be, beauticians and hairdressers and whatnot. So I would go along as a model, and so you'd pay like a much reduced fee as a model. So I can go there and have my hair cut and maybe coloured as well and washed and blow dried, and I can be pampered and everything else, and pay about 10, 15 euro, not pounds, because up here it's pounds, because it's Northern Ireland, part of the UK. So of course if I was having my hair cut and washed and coloured and blow dried down in Drumshanbo or Carrick-on-Shannon, you could pay up to €80 to have that done. So it's an awful lot cheaper for me to go as a model. I should put that on my resume, model.